Submarine tour.
Not to be used for seating the plane. Decks may be wet, so seniors should.
Alright, so that is your ride, guys. Now what we're gonna do,
I can't park that good.
Go for it. Come right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, all on this railing, please. All over here. Hold them up,
So you might notice in this area, there's especially off in the distance a little ways, there's some concrete pillars that are just kind of laying around over there. I'm going to refer back to those later because those are actually where we originally sank 2 airplanes out here. But a hurricane came through in 1992 and ripped up the airplanes and threw them out in about 100 feet of water instead of the 60 feet or so over here. So when we see those airplane wings later, just remember that this is where they used to be. I've never seen this many pufferfish all in one place out here. They must be having a puffer convention. Puffer fish? Yeah, because they puff up when they get threatened. They'll bring in a bunch of seawater in their body to blow up like a balloon, and that forces their scales to come out like spikes. So it's like a defensive mechanism. So they puff up, they're puffer fish.
Sand. That is good here.
Yeah, even though these reefs aren't very great for growing coral, you will see some sea urchins. That's the big long spiky ones there, the ones you don't want to step on when you're out there off the beach. Also, you see a whole bunch of the yellow fish with the 4 blue stripes. That's the blue striped snapper, and that's actually an invasive species from Tahiti. They were originally brought here intentionally from Tahiti to basically control the population of the red snapper. And that worked, but there were no natural predators for the blue striped snapper, and they don't really taste very good, and no one fishes for them. So without any kind of predation, they just kind of took over. We don't want to put any lights on them with our dives though, because coming down here 6 to 8 times a day and blasting light on the coral would disrupt its growth cycle. It'd be really bad for the reef. So we just enjoy looking at it with the natural filtered sunlight. as we finish passing that last of our Japanese reefs there, we're actually going to turn offshore now. And you guys remember when I pointed out those pilings earlier and said they used to hold airplanes? We're gonna go see where that hurricane dropped what's left of those airplanes right now, and they're in about 110 feet of water. So as we head off in this next minute or two, you might want to keep an eye on the depth gauge, because less than 1% or less than 0.1% of people ever go 100 feet below sea level. And you're all about to, we're experiencing about 4 atmospheres of pressure right now. It's 4 times more than the surface pressure when you're just hanging out on the beach. Basically, every 30 feet of water weighs the same as one entire atmosphere. And we just passed the 100-foot mark. Now might be a great time to take that picture and congratulate yourselves for being in that triple-digit club. Shark? Oh, we have a shark on the starboard side. There's a, yeah, a white-tip reef shark. Kind of a medium-sized one, just napping under the wing here. Yeah, you see him laying down over there? You might have heard that sharks generally have to keep swimming forward just to breathe. But that species, oh, he's swimming out. You may have spooked him a little bit. Oh yeah, he's swimming up around the engine there. So that species actually has the ability to move its jaw just such a way that it can pump water across its gills. And that gives it the ability to lay there and just take a nap. So when you see them laying on the ground like that, you'll actually see its mouth constantly opening and closing, pumping water across its gills. There's only 3 species of sharks that can do that. The white tip here is one of them. And we're going to be coming up shortly on a second airplane wing on the port side. They actually auctioned it off. Oh, we have a big sea turtle right here looking at us, posing for us. That's normally we see their backside. He's just posing for a picture.
Oh, wow. It's huge.
That's a Hawaiian green sea turtle, or Honu. So yeah, right here on the right side, that is the Oahu 257 I was just talking about. It's 174 feet long, making it our longest, our largest reef out here. And like I was saying, the Navy auctioned it off after it retired it, and Atlantis purchased it. Spent about $300,000 cleaning it up to make it safe for use of the reef, and then sunk it down here. But you can see it's very successful as a reef. It's got tons of cauliflower corals and low corals. If you see the orange fish out there with the orange fins with the white body and kind of a pyramid shape, that's called a pyramid butterfly fish, and it's used as an indicator species. You can see coming up here, there's just dozens, if not hundreds of them up here. So as long as that fish is here, it indicates the health of the reef, because that fish is very sensitive to the reef conditions. So we see so many of them here, which tells us our reef is doing very healthy right now. Oh, and then all these pennant butterfly fish, there's hundreds of them out here on the end. The pennant butterfly fish is the zebra striped one with the long white pennant behind it. Oh, and if you look down, is that? Yeah, that's a Heller's barracuda. There's a school of Heller's barracuda down here to the starboard side. That's one of the very few species of barracuda that actually schools together like that, and they're one of my favorite ones to look at because they all kind of move in different directions. You get little shimmers of silver from the leg. There's a sea turtle on top on the pilot house over here on the left. Do you guys see him up there? Oh, there's one. So the one swimming right next to us on port also. Looking for a place to nap. Oh! 3 turtles total. 2 here on the bow and the 1 on the pilot house. So they got creative and decided to use their cargo, which at the time was 100-gallon barrels of soy sauce. they were able to use these hundreds of gallons of soy sauce to extinguish the fire, but the ship still needed to be abandoned. It was basically completely useless at that point, and it was ended up being towed back to Honolulu Harbor by the Coast Guard. And as it came into harbor smelling like burnt out wood and soy sauce, the local fishermen started calling it the teriyaki boat. So over the next 15 years, it basically became you know, a big problem and home to hundreds of feral cats, and abandoned by the owner, and then it finally sunk there at the pier side. And at the point that it sank, it legally becomes the state's property and therefore the state's problem. So when Atlantis heard about it, they went in and talked to the state about it, and the state was happy to sell it to us for a grand total of $1. Because it saved them what we spent $360,000 cleaning it up to make it safe to use as a reef. But you can see it's a very successful reef now. It's got sea turtles napping on it, hundreds of endemic and other fish kind of swimming around. It's really revitalized, you know, the area out here. So what's going to happen next is we're going to get these hatches open, and then our surface crew is going to try to get some line tied across.
Is that who lived? Really?
Welcome back. Thank you very much, folks. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back, folks. Enjoy your life.